Hi, I'm Kyran O'Gorman, the creator of iGreen, a new innovative solution to iSeries data presentation and extraction. Let me show you some of its more interesting features. The first feature to notice is what you're looking at appears to be a normal subfile, but it's anything but. If I ask the screen to scroll, say, one column, every time I press enter, the screen scrolls to the right one column. I can change that to 3 and it jumps 3 columns. As well as the jumping, I can ask it to hold columns on the left-hand side. This has the effect of vertically splitting the screen. Now, every time I scroll, the right-hand side of the screen scrolls and the left remains. As well as splitting the screen that way, by simply putting the cursor into any column and pressing a command key, that column temporarily hides. You can hide up to 99 columns. This particular display here has 153 columns, and as you can see from the -3, I am currently hiding 3 columns. To get the hidden columns back, I simply double-click on the columns. I think you'll agree this overcomes the most major problem of green screens, the fixed width, because in iGreen the screens are effectively infinitely wide. As well as the fully flexible screens, iGreen supports an infinite number of different pre-configured screen layouts. Let me show you. Here is some set up already. By simply selecting another view, I get a different screen layout that is potentially aimed at solving a different problem. I can have as many different views as I like, and I can swap between them at will. And all the time, the same selection criteria is in effect. To change or create a view is an extremely simple thing to do. Let me just go back to my original view. Now, I'm going to change this screen layout. I simply come in here. This is the definition of the view. If I look at the first column, item number, it's 15 wide and it's displaying in red. I can change that to 10 wide and I'm going to change the color to turquoise, reverse image. I simply exit the screen to update. I come in here. I change my view. Now I go back to my original view and there, the item number has changed width and display attribute. It's as simple as that. This also applies to numbers. I can change their width, their decimal definitions, and dates. There is extensive date processing and dates can be changed from any display format to any other display format simply by entering the correct code. The combination of the flexible screen and the multiple pre-formatted screens makes for infinite variability. iGreen screens are effectively of infinite width, up to 1,400 characters across. And as you can see in this particular case, this particular view has 153 columns. A lot more than can normally be squeezed into the 132 character width screen. iGreen supports an infinite number of different screen formats. In this case, there's 4 pre-set up. By simply reselecting any of these, I can go from one to the other. But supposing I wanted something different. Looking at the existing screen, you'll see the date is in European format. If I want this to be used by my American colleagues, I want a different format. Let me show you how easy that is. I simply come in here, I say take that format and copy it for me. Give it a new name. It's now brought me into my new format which I'm creating. And now I can make whatever changes I wish. I'm going to change the item number to be 10 long. I'm going to change its color to blue underline. And then for the date involved, I'm going to change its display format to whatever I want, which in this case is month, day, year to support my American colleagues. Now, when I look at my view list, I have 5. It's added in the new one. There it is, and my date is in the new format, and my item number is in the new color and width. It's as easy as that. No more programming, just whatever you want on the screen, that's exactly what you see. As well, of course, I could just as easily add a new field to my display, say sales unit of measure, pop it on, exit, change my display, change back again, and the new field is added. As you can see, iGreen has a menu bar. Let me show you its more important features. There are a list of functions here, and any of these functions can be initiated by either selecting it on this display, pressing the relevant command key, or selecting it via mouse. The screen is fully mouse enabled. As well as that, there is full help on all the displayed fields. This ensures that the exact contents of each column is never forgotten and is always available to all users. There is an extremely powerful row selection function which allows us to extremely quickly get to exactly the rows we want. More about that in a few moments. There is an advice screen which details the more important features, which are often combinations of command keys. This enables users to understand exactly how to use all the features. As well as this help summary, there is extensive cursor-sensitive help throughout the product. And finally, there's the reports. This allows the user to select any width or combination of width or character density on any report. Up to 18 different report specifications can be set up. The very extensive row selection feature in iGreen. Let me show you. Here you can see all the different criteria by which I can select rows or records. In order to change any of the selections, I simply select them with the space bar, and now the two that I have selected will appear on the screen. I can now change the item class or the primary vendor. If I want, for instance, I select item number, and now I can change the item number selection as well as the item class. It's as simple as that. As you can see, there are currently 7 different selection criteria. But what if the selection criteria I want is not in that list? Well, let me show you how to add it. I simply go into the selection criteria definition, and this is it here. You can see there are 7 different column selections available. Let me add a new one. For instance, I'm going to add in month to date sales amount. Now I simply exit and re-enter, and now when I look at my selections, as you can see, month to date sales amount has been added as a selection criteria, and I can select rows or records depending on whatever I enter into that. It's as simple as that to add to the selections. No programming required. iGreen has very extensive reporting functionality, because when you reformat the screen by hiding columns or selecting different views, you are also automatically reformatting a report, should you want one. Taking the existing display. If, for instance, I want the information displayed printed on a report, but I do not want the item description, I simply temporarily hide the description. I come into reports and I select whichever width I wish. In this case, I'm going to select an 80 character report. And print report. And there you have it, an 80 character report of records and columns selected. Should I wish to change that, I could, for instance, say I would like a 198 character wide report. And print it. Now when I look at the second, the same information, and it's 198 wide. I can have any report width or density I wish. All it has to do is to be set up, and that only takes a minute or two. As well as the reporting function, should you wish to download the data for onward use, that is very easy too. For instance, if I want to send myself an email and attach to it the data I have selected, it's as simple as pressing a command key. I simply select email. It asks me what format I want the data in. I select the format, press enter. And as you can see from the message, extract data was emailed to. I then go into my email. There's the email. I open it, and attached to that email is the data currently selected on the screen. However, it is not restricted to the screen width. It includes all the columns that have been selected. So you see, as you change the screen layout, you are automatically changing a printed report, should you want one, or the layout of an extract file that you email to yourself, should you want it. But also you can instantly download the selected data to Excel by simply pressing a command key or clicking a mouse. And there you have it, the data selected, the rows, the columns in a fully formatted Excel spreadsheet. I can come in and I can make changes to this. For instance, I can change my view. I just have 5 columns there. Send that down to myself in Excel. There you have it. I can even come in and select a particular item and say I'm particularly interested in that item and that one, because that's its part number. And now when I export that to myself in Excel, down she comes, highlighted included. Very useful, I think you'll agree. Within iGreen, the data extraction and presentation functions can all be logically linked via a function called Cascade, which allows us to link from any data extract to any other data extract, provided there is a logical link. Let me show you. Here we have a master list of items. And here we have a window of all the different Cascade functions available for this particular item. Let us select inventory to see what the inventory is. It puts in the relevant letter, which I could have entered directly myself. Now when I press enter, notice I have jumped from one inquiry to a different one. I am now in the stock location detail inquiry. The system has already put in the correct item number of the item I want and has therefore jumped me from one inquiry into another. The logical link is soft, it is not programmed, and these logical links can be set up very easily and changed at any time. It is a very, very powerful feature. Moving on, if for instance I look at my warehouse master, then for each warehouse I can see either the locations or the stock in this warehouse. Let us select all the locations. Again, it puts in the relevant selection letter for me, and now when I press enter, I am in the location master listing for this warehouse, warehouse 1. Again, I might say that's very interesting, but I wonder, for instance, can I cascade again? And the answer is, of course I can, as many times as I like. In this particular case, I can select the detailed stock for that particular location. Now, when I press enter, I will leave the location master inquiry and go into the stock location detail, and now I can see the stock in that location, all these different items, and I have full functionality here. I can see the stock with descriptions. This is the warehouse I have come from. I know that, I'll make it disappear. These are the item descriptions. That's very interesting. The location description, it's the same location. I can disappear that, etc., etc. It means that the inquiries, which are also data presentations and reports and links can all be logically linked and give the user the ability to move around the database in a manner that is very intuitive to the user. Users pick this up extremely quickly and are very grateful for it because this type of functionality is not typically available. To create an entirely new data extraction function in iGreen is very simple. Please watch this. As you can see, we currently have 5 different extract functions here. To create a new one, I take a different menu option. I enter the name of the table or the SQL format of the data I wish to inquire over, press enter, exit, enter the product again. You will notice there's now a new extract. I can press enter on that. I can now print a report. There's my new report. I can send myself an email with that data attached to it, to myself, or I can download it directly into Excel. Quick, simple, easy, and powerful. To create a data extract over multiple tables, the tables need to be logically joined. I use an SQL view because that's the simplest way of doing it. If you look here at the location inventory with on hand, this was created over multiple tables. The source behind it is this source here. We simply name our fields as in SQL, and here are the tables that we are linking. There are 5 tables joined here. So creating a data extract over multiple tables is as easy as writing a simple SQL statement. That's all. And so to conclude, as you have seen, iGreen creates very powerful data extraction, presentation, reporting and download functions simply at the touch of a button. Particularly the download to Excel is simply a single button or a click of a mouse. As you have seen, the screen layouts are completely flexible. Select whatever columns you wish to see. And then the inquiries are logically linked one to another, allowing your user to navigate your database extremely quickly, efficiently, and intuitively. iGreen has a multitude of applications, from simply creating new inquiries to being used primarily as a data extraction and export tool. Our contact details appear on the next screen. Please get in contact to arrange your personalized demonstration. Thank you for watching this demonstration.